Take a good look at the kid on your screen right now. The #1 rated high school player in the nation, straight out of Madison, Mississippi. Asante Barlow, a physical anomaly, 6'4", nearly 250 with 4.2 speed, something you've never seen before in your life. Born and raised in the suburbs of Madison, Mississippi, Asante is a beast on that field and in the classroom. Now, he's what I would like to call a positionless football player. He can play any and everything on the field. Tight end, split out wide at receiver, even on the defensive side, do everything you ask of him. Mostly starting at the strong safety position throughout his senior year, he can do every single thing you ask of him. Come downhill, lay big hits on any and everybody. And then on top of that, you can throw him in the coverage, man, zone, however you want to do it. He can lock down any team's #1 receiver, make plays on the ball, and with his elite speed, ain't nobody catching that guy. And his return ability at kick return and punt is insane. His field vision, being able to play both full time throughout the entirety of a season, is next to none. And his exclusive versatility has earned him a label, unlike anything we've called any player ever in the history of this game, the first ever four-way player. But just before the end of his senior season, he decommitted from Bama. One big issue, they wouldn't let him come on the campus and be the four-way superstar he knew he could be. There was one major issue. Bama or no other school in the nation would allow him to come on campus and be the four-way superstar he knew he could be at that level. All but one, and that one just so happened to be where he's from, in Mississippi. The Mississippi State Bulldogs would allow him to come on campus and be that guy. And with everything pretty much falling apart towards the end of his senior season, Asante is hell-bent to come on here on campus at Mississippi State, ball out, and take them to the top of the SEC. But that's enough for me. I'm gonna let you get Asante's perspective. Walk through his freshman season step by step, play by play, game by game. We got Oklahoma State to open up the season. My freshman year, here to prove every single team, every coach, every program wrong that I can be everything that I was in high school, if not better at the college level. And in our first offensive drive, 3rd and a long 15, a simple catch in the flats, I turned it into a house call up the sideline, putting his 4.2 speed to work, getting into the end zone, putting the first points on the board in my first collegiate touchdown. And now trying to have the same success over here on defense, 3rd and 10, the guy sniff out the screen, coming up with a big tackle causing a 4th down. And now trying to capitalize on our opportunity here on the offensive side of the ball, running this slant out of that tight end position, picking up the 1st down. First quarter coming to an end, I'm blitzing off the edge. I didn't get fooled by the read option, shutting this play down. Bowman's going to take the handoff here on 1st down, exploding through a huge wide open hole. Coming downhill is me and him face to face. I'm going to win that matchup 10 times out of 10. And throughout the rest of this first half, as they try to establish their run game, I'm going to do everything I can to continue to make the big play. Coming in motion here on 1st down, lined up in front of this strong safety. I get a good amount of separation running the out route, picking up the 1st and some change. I play tight end and I play receiver, but tight end by far has the most advantages. When you have this type of speed and acceleration, you can explode off the line the way I can. It comes with so many advantages. Oftentimes I'm getting checked or lined up in front of a linebacker or a strong safety, and it's always a mismatch because they don't have the speed nor the ability to just keep up with me. And then I'm such a hybrid on the defensive side of the ball. I can do everything, hang back deep, playing coverage, man, whatever you need me to do, even get down in the box, play a little bit of linebacker. I'm capable of it all. 2-score lead here with just under a minute and a half left before we go into the second half. Picking up this return, I pick up some decent yardage, but I don't take this one as far as I wanted to. I'm ready to take my first one back to the crib for the season. 2nd and 9, hanging back deep, reading the middle of the field, waiting on the opportunity to come my way, but my guys come away with a huge pick draped all over this receiver. That was a terrible throw by the quarterback. And speaking of an opportunity, I manned up with the running back and giving him a bunch of space, baiting up this route. The second he sits down, I come downhill full speed, picking up the interception. Off to the crib I go, my first pick and pick 6 of my college career. We secure a huge win against a really good team. We hit the tunnel extremely excited. We start the season off the best way possible. We got prime time in his Colorado bus today, another school that offered me but wouldn't let me come on campus and be the guy, but we all know why. To say a lot without saying too much, shout out to that boy Travis Hunter doing his things on both sides of the ball, paving the way for this generation of two-way players. Much respect to him, but my goal, my mission for my college career is to be the guy to pave the way for all around athletes, guys who can come in and be pretty much like me, even though it's not many of me out here today. 170 pounds soaking wet Dylan Edwards meet me in the hole. That's a scary sight. Got love for the little fella, but I gotta hit him hard. I show no mercy when I'm out here on this field, but I'm not the only person on this defense nor this team out here with this mentality. That's another reason why I came here to Mississippi State. That mindset, that mentality, being ruthless, being vicious on the field, that's another reason why we're going to be successful this season. A lot of people don't know that. When I came here on my last visit, this team, this program, this school made it very clear to me they're ready to take that next step and really go to the top. And after hearing everything they had to say and watching all the work being put in, it was pretty clear, pretty evident to me that I'm the missing cog to the wheel. I'm going to be the one that makes us go. Jimmy Horn Jr. got to be one of my favorite receivers in the country right now, but he tried to make make a crazy one-handed catch and I ain't going for it. Hit him so hard, had to show my boy a little bit of love on this play. I have yet to break off the huge kick return that I know I'm capable of. The blocks are there, everything is lined up properly, but these guys at the college level are a lot faster than what I thought. I can get the edge, but it's going to take some time for me to really figure it out. Colorado has an extremely gifted punter. He puts this one deep into our territory. Now I'm on a mission to try to get to the other side of the field and get that edge. And the second I see nothing but green, I get shoestring tackle. But these guys are very talented. 2nd and 2, they run the read option, and 2 is going to actually keep this ball. Huge mistake. I'm flying downhill, and as much love as I got for Coach Prime, I hit his baby boy a little too hard. Watching this Colorado offense try to establish this poor running game all day, it's been really pathetic. I'm down here in the backfield like it's nothing, picking up a tackle for loss, a huge play. And now here in the 4th quarter, trying to put this game to bed, a beautiful route towards the outside of the end zone, picking up a touchdown, my 2nd of the day. On the road in these whiteout uniforms against conference foe Auburn, and how we kick this one off, a scoop and score to the crib, touchdown. We strike first here in the 1st quarter. Offensively, we're loaded with talent, including me, but on the defensive side, we're going to shock a lot of people across the nation with how well we perform against some of the better teams. Honing this one in at the 30, setting up my blocks to the left, exploding back to my right, getting upfield, navigate my way through traffic. The punt return I've been waiting on so far throughout these first couple of games, we end up deep in Auburn territory. Lined up here on 1st and 10, I'm going to get right behind the linebacker, put myself between him and his safety, and my quarterback, Mr. Will Rogers, with a perfect dime, picking up the touchdown. I sat out the entire defensive possession, but for good reason, so I can continue to make explosive plays on the offensive end, making this catch, exquisite blocks from my fellow receivers, and from there, 69-yard house call. It's kind of crazy. As much as I like to think that I'm a super athlete, I took less snaps on defense, and what I've been able to do on offense and in the return game is kind of crazy, more than what I've done so far this season. Coming off the line here on 1st down, a terrible read by my boy Will, throws a horrible interception, or should I say just an insane play by this cornerback. I track him down, saving a touchdown. But my hopes of Auburn not capitalizing on this opportunity would be shot down here on 2nd and 13. A flea flicker, great pass in the end zone, picking up a touchdown. They're not out of this one just yet. Great field positioning for Auburn here late in the 3rd quarter, a pivotal 3rd and goal. This screenplay ended quicker than it started. Now with an 11-point lead going into the 4th quarter, we need a huge play to maintain the dominance we've established throughout the 1st half. And how do we do that? How about 61 yards, a huge return, fight my way up the sideline. I could have sat out the first couple of plays of this drive, but I refuse to not contribute to my team on offense. I'm fully rested, I'm energized, I'm ready to go, making this catch, picking up some big yardage. We've worked our way down here into the red zone, and like I said before, playing tight end has come with so many advantages, being a complete mismatch a lot of times, and just often being forgotten about coming from this position. And it's crazy, as explosive of a player as I am, it almost seems like the tight end position is not prioritized. The receivers, the running back, and things like that, those are the primary positions a lot of people key in on. And you know what? I'm fine with that. I'm gonna continue to light things up from the tight end position, and teams are just gonna have to adjust. Whether they do or don't, I'm gonna eat regardless. Man, Coastal Carolina and this teal turf field, this alone to make you want to commit. I ain't gonna lie to you. Getting off to a solid 3-0 start here at Mississippi State in the SEC, even though we haven't gotten to the harder conference play, is pretty impressive. In the SEC, is always 3 teams that compete to finish at the bottom of the conference. Us, Vandy, and Arkansas. This year, we're looking to make a change. But in order for us to go to that next level, we all have to contribute. Not just me, but making terrible throws like this one, an oblivious pick by Will. We can't have that. And as a defense, that's where we step in and step up. I believe we have everything at all levels to have complete success. And to get things jumped out for us as a defense, we just need a tone setter. And I feel like I am that guy. Even as a true freshman, I feel like I set the tone for this defense, for this team, week in and week out, making big hits like this one on 3rd and 4. Will screwed up on our last offensive possession, but being able to extend this play all the way, running out to the numbers and dumping this one off to Seth Davis, our running back, taking off upfield, getting towards the end zone, spinning off a guy, breaking a tackle, diving into the end zone. Trying to get something going off in the return game, pinned back deep into our territory, taking off to my left, got a good block, splitting right behind him, picking up some decent yardage. There was some talks coming into the season about me switching down a linebacker, but it's just something about playing strong safety, running out 10, 15 yards and just dropping my shoulder into a dude's chest. I love it. Got another return here midway through the 3rd quarter. The second I see them biting as I set things up to my left, I know I got them. Put on the brakes, go to my right, speed is going to kill from there, getting out of bounds, run a 25. Got a simple but very effective deep out route on this one. The safety's all over it, but at 6'4", I'm going up, snagging this one on his head. I come down, completely embarrassing that boy. I'm bent over pre-snap, completely gassed, but I got a mismatch with a linebacker. I got to work my magic, completely selling this route to the inside, getting out, touchdown. And now actually being here at the collegiate level, I can kind of understand why a lot of teams didn't want me to come in and be the Iron Man 4-way starter that I am. It's completely tearing on the body. But they fail to realize I'm a different breed. On this field, whether it's the 1st quarter or the 4th, my athletic ability and my God-given gifts are going to shine regardless, all the way to the crib on my first punt return for a touchdown. Nasty work. After improving to 4-0 last week, we come into this game against LSU at home ranked. They're ranked higher, but a game like this in conference play can be season defining. At times, it seems like I go unnoticed, almost invisible, like coming from the tight end position. I don't get touched or seen until I get to the third level by these safeties. By then, it's too late. We couldn't capitalize on our opportunity on the offensive side of the ball, but what did I say about this defense? Gonna step up and show out. Huge interception down there in the flats. Packed in tight on the line, I'm being signaled to split out wide. One-on-one situation, that's a nightmare for any cornerback, any DB period in the nation. Being 6'4" with elite jumping ability comes with its perks. I can go up and snag the ball on anybody. It can be dangerous coming down, but I ain't worried about nothing but making the big play. LSU's made their way down here in the red zone, and with a great quarterback like Jaden Daniels, you can expect him to go scoreless throughout the entire first half. But what you can count on, 9 times out of 10, scratch that, 10 times out of 10, we're gonna respond back as a team. I get that ball in my hands here on the kickoff, backed up into my own end zone, pulling off a crazy, sick return. Now trying to march our way down the field to punch one into the end zone before the half. These routes that put me dead center in all the open space is always a treat. Here on 1st and 10, with nobody sitting deep over top, I got an opportunity, and Will has one as well, to put one over the top, but instead the latest pass ever that you could possibly throw in a situation like this, a terrible interception. We're all tied up here coming into the third quarter, but here on 3rd and 12, they go with a screenplay. We're all over that. Stop them boys, 4th down. The Mississippi State Bulldogs. It's very fitting because we have nothing but dogs on this team. Every time he makes a mistake, he always come back and make up for it. Shout out to Will for this dime. I'm getting it to the end zone for a touchdown. Trying to turn up the level of intensity over here on the defensive side of the ball as they try to get their running game going with a really good running back and an extremely athletic quarterback. It's not too hard to do. If I don't win that Jet Award this season, which is given to the #1 return man in the nation by the end of the year, it's going to be a shame. I feel like I'm finally starting to put it together how to really maximize my opportunities on each return, kick and punt. Firing out the line here on 2nd and 15, and his linebacker is looking like he wants to stay with me throughout this entire route. I think he's messed up with me, which is a huge mistake. You better put a DB out here. He's going to get cooked every time. But I sell it really good, making it seem like I'm going to the back of the end zone. The second he takes that step back inside, I break off on my slant, picking up the touchdown. Got some man coverage here in the 4th quarter, and this was a great route. I could have jumped and picked this. I got my head and hips around just a little too late, but nonetheless, I came away with the tackle. And now trying to put LSU to bed on the design blitz is almost like I surprised Jaden Daniels. I get my first sack of the season on one of the nation's best. Getting this one kicked off against Bowling Green with a weird punt far to the left, but taking this one all the way back to my right. Maneuvering my way through traffic, great blocks. I'm getting into the end zone for 6, number 2 of the season. And now trying to put in some work on the offensive side of the ball. Split out wide like a receiver on this one. Great route, getting into the end zone, diving in as a matter of fact. Big touchdown. Starting this one off terrorizing some lesser opponents, but that's how it's supposed to be. Oh, and a new school record, the most receiving touchdowns in the season in just the first, 6 games. I'm balling out of control, doing great things already. And now time to do some damage on the defensive side. 3rd and 13 with a clear path to pick up this first down. I'm coming downhill, full speed, breaking his neck. Stewart, lay it down, my boy. Line up in the slot here on 2nd and 14. Will puts way too much air under this pass, but anytime there's a chance for the ball to be caught, more often than not, I'm gonna come down with it. We decide to stay on the field here on 4th and 5. Motioning out from the tight end position, lined up inside, and I knew I was gonna win this one from the line. The safety made a crucial mistake, dropping back, maintaining way too much depth. We in this one a success. BG's trying to do everything they possibly can and not go into the second half scoreless, picking up 5 yards here on 1st and 10. With 1 timeout left, we know they want to take a shot deep. Now here in man coverage, I overrun this ball thrown right at me, but my ball tracking ability translates to both sides of the ball, picking up my craziest interception of the season. Finishing the first half on a very solid note. Not trying to start the second the same way, taking this kick return up the sideline, great blocks, picking up some really solid yardage. I'm a big dude, bro, and I like to eat. In the middle of the field, every game against no matter who we play always seems like a open, just a free walk-in buffet, free yardage, free pickups, free receptions, free everything. We knew coming in Bowling Green couldn't hang with us, but scoreless through 3 quarters is actually insane. But a shutout wouldn't be possible as they pick up a touchdown here on 1st and 10. With 2 receivers split wide here, 1 yard out, it's an obvious run situation. I explode through the hole. Untouched, I completely obliterate this running back, causing a forced fumble, and we pick it up. Get these boys out of here. Kentucky's one of those teams that show flashes of greatness from time to time. They're never at the bottom of the SEC, but nor at the top. But today, we're here to defend our undefeated record. Running somewhat of a 15-yard and making this catch, breaking the tackle, picking up the first, we move the chains. Now I get to show off some of these receiver skills, leaning this route towards the inside, bending it right back out. We'll put the perfect amount of air under this ball. My responsibility here on 1st and 10 is to hang back deep, but I can't help but jump this pass. He got to step on my corner, and him picking up this first down was not an option. A very high IQ interception if I do say so myself. Here on 3rd and 20, I make a crucial mistake trying to do the same exact thing. Reading the middle of the field, I got a guy going straight to the back of my zone. He lays out to make the insane catch, but I draw the ball loose just at the last second. Receiving the punt here towards the end of the first quarter, there's no lane in front of me to go forward, so instead I go backwards and create a lane of my own, getting off to the right, some decent blocks, and I get tripped up right around the 40. We got some red zone action. 3rd and 10. The second this safety bites down on my teammate, that frees me up for the TD. Giving this receiver a lot of cushion here on 1st and 10, expecting him to run something inside, but instead does the complete opposite, going out. I give up a huge play and the 1st down. Now tasked with patrolling the middle of the field, the running back takes his handoff on 3rd and 6. Nothing but space and opportunity, but I quickly close that gap. And now with another trip to the red zone, my boy Joe Quavius with the monster run again to the end zone to extend our crazy lead. And with the best field positioning they had all day, Devilier and his offense is trying to punch one in, throwing it across the middle. Me and my guys all over it, no fly zone. In what's supposed to be a huge game for us this season in conference play against South Carolina, we're going up against a very mediocre team, one of the worst in the SEC so far this year, a must-win game. Split out somewhat wide, trips on my side of the field, and being such a vertical threat, even as a tight end, I put these safeties on their heels just about every single play. Motioning out wide, I get a one-on-one look with this corner. He fails to get hands on me, one of my nastiest releases of the season, making a huge catch, picking up 30+ yards. Now over here on defense, trying to establish our dominance, and what's one of the best ways to do that? Flying to the ball. By the time this guy broke the line of scrimmage, he was surrounded by 5 or 6 white jerseys. With our secondary being so lethal, a lot of teams try to establish their run game early, but they forget we some dogs up front as well. A big 3rd and 7 situation. Spencer Rattler has max protection up front all day to throw the ball, launches it towards the right side of the end zone. My guy's completely out of place, giving up a big touchdown. Now trying to answer back here on 1st and 10. Just before the half, I got a streak, but I'm gonna bend it inside a bit. A 50-50 ball, but with me, more like 90-10. I make the catch, regain my footing, and from there, it's off to the house. And with the majority of the field to march down and try to make something happen before the half, 30 seconds left, we refuse to let them get one in. Second and a very long 22, Spencer Rattler's going to keep this ball on the read option. Terrible idea. I come flying in for the huge TFL. And now right back with a huge 3rd and 23 situation, the biggest gap I've ever seen in the offensive line in my life. A free shot at the quarterback, big hit on Rattler. Defensively, we're solid right now, but we're struggling to get things going on the offensive end, and I'm not going to lie, I'm exerting a lot of energy over here on the defensive side of the ball. And with some of the best field positioning they had all game, Spencer's going to keep this one and work his way into the end zone, taking the lead. Over here on offense, anytime our back's against the wall, we must have a big play. They know who the ball is going to go to. Shaking one guy, shake another, and that 4-2 speed from there on is untouchable. To the crib. House call. After the huge play, defensively, we go back out there and hold it down. Now back over here on the offensive side, we got the momentum in full swing up the field, almost a 50-yard run from our star running back. There's so much talent on this roster, even with me out the field, we can still get it done. Will's going to connect with my boy Jaden for a huge play. You can even hear it in the crowd, the disbelief at how open he was. Today, with one of our biggest challenges of the season, Texas A&M has a really solid squad this year. And with us being on the road this week in front of a hostile crowd, our main focus is to remain poised, execute to our standard. But on a lighter note, new school record, the most receiving yards for a Bulldog ever in school history, and doing it on the road makes it a little bit more special. Motioning out to get a better look at the defense with a man look, and it turns out to be zone. Running this one all the way to the corner, and a long ball and a great toe tap for myself results in an easy 4-yard touchdown. Now with some action here in the punt return game, fielding this one deep left, damn near by the numbers, and with nothing but open space and opportunity to my right, I'm gonna take advantage of it every time and go crazy. With my guy motioning out to the left side of the field, having all this real estate to myself, a great route, even better throw from my boy Will, putting out of harm's way right in my hands, picking up a huge play. With the 2-score lead here to start the half, now over here returning this kick, getting the party rocking early, taking this one upfield, great blocking up front, a few more and maybe another move or two, I would have taken this one to the crib, but 42 yards ain't nothing to sneeze at. Going with the read option here on 1st and 10 with a fantastic read from Will. With the blocks he has up front with a little bit more speed, he would have been going to the crib untouched. I done seen on ESPN, they've given me a little nickname, the Red Zone Warrior, and it's very fitting. Another touchdown, 3-score lead here against TAMU. But don't forget, I can get it done from any and everywhere on the field. Lined up, standing tall, getting behind the safety and the corner, picking up another touchdown, completely dismantling this defense. The lack of opportunities I've had on the defensive side of the ball to make plays on the ball can be a little bit disheartening, but being a lockdown / hard-hitting safety, it's rewarding. Like a receiver or a tight end, maybe even a running back may catch a ball around me or in my zone or even in my vicinity, but once I drop that shoulder on you, you're gonna wish you didn't. It's something about Bama sitting at 6-3 that just doesn't feel realistic to me, but nonetheless, they're still Bama. We got to come to play. And by no means am I saying 6-3 is terrible, but by Bama standard, that's subpar, if not mediocre. Being one of the few teams in the country that still remain undefeated is kind of crazy, and the fact that we're only ranked number 5 is very disrespectful. There's a couple of other undefeated teams ahead of us, but not being in the top 3 is kind of disrespectful. But getting a win this week at home against a ranked opponent in conference play should definitely help us out more than it will hurt, taking a step forward in the rankings. After After a scoreless first quarter, we refused to go with a scoreless second. 3rd and 15, the Will is going to give me the prime opportunity to completely disrespect this Bama secondary, going up top, catching one on their head, not trying to make something shaky in the return game. A really solid punt, but an even better return. Great blocks up front, picking up some good yardage, but it gets called back from a bonehead play. That touchdown gave us the lead, but we need a play to really change the tide of this game. Getting back in the backfield, my guys get a huge strip sack on Jalen Milroe, and we recover. We take the ball. I haven't been lined up as a tight end as much as I usually am. I've been split out wide way more than normal, and it's been opening up a lot of doors and opportunities for me to make big plays like here on 2nd and 5, untouched for the touchdown. There's been a lot of fraud talk when it comes to our defense, saying without me, we won't go. But if you ask me, we got pieces on the back end and up front that can get it done with or without me on the field. But I can't lie, I understand where they're coming from, because when you got a safety that can do tremendous in coverage, but also come down, make tackles in the box, outside, wide, stretch the field. I mean, do it all. I can do everything you ask of me, ask of a player, period. But one thing about it, if I make a play on one side of the field, over the top, back end, whatever, those boys up front, they gonna step up, make big plays as well. Lead by example. We gonna dominate and take advantage of our opportunities every single time. Taking a look at the standings over here in the west of the SEC, of course, we're ranked number 1, but who's ranked number 2? Our opponent today, number 12 ranked Arkansas. Opening kickoff on the road in the snow. This is definitely going to be a fun game, but with some great blocks up front, setting some things up, making a few guys miss, getting upfield, a great way to start this game. Back in my traditional tight end stance here on 2nd and 15, and what I do after the catch is video game like. Not only do I make a few guys miss, but off to the races, hurling my way into the end zone to take the early 7-0 lead. And with that disgusting touchdown, another school record that I set on the road, the most receiving touchdowns in a career here, just my first season as a Bulldog, as a freshman at that. And with grand field positioning like this, there's only one way this drive ends, and that's not with 3 points. An easy touchdown. Hanging back deep here on 1st and 10. It's a run, coming downhill, full speed, catching Raheem Sanders off balance, dropping that shoulder into his chest. And how about KJ Jefferson here on 2nd and 3? Read option. I usually play these to perfection, but a misread by me, and he's off to the races. That play wasn't completely my fault, but I'm gonna make up for it here on 1st and goal. Big touchdown, great route. I can't be stopped. And as bad as I want to shut down their run game, they're actually doing a pretty good job, because they have one thing that a lot of teams don't have, and that's a 1-2 punch in their quarterback and running back with this run game. KJ and his Arkansas offense refuses to go away. Even though we're up 2 scores, trying to make it 3, he lobs one to the back of the end zone, picking up a touchdown, making this a 1-score game. And with me not taking one to the crib in a return game in a very long time, I'm here putting out my best effort, trying to walk this one down the sideline, get it in. Great return, but not exactly what I want. I wouldn't say this game against Arkansas is a shootout just yet, but one thing I can say, they're doing something a lot of teams don't do, and that's respond. Every time we step up, they do the same. But once I get that mismatch with a linebacker, especially in this distance, or anytime a safety isn't committed to me after I've already developed my route, it's pretty much a GG. And with this game already being done, cooked, and put in the bag, I'm gonna make sure to leave a lasting impression on them with this nasty hit on their receiver. Drop that ball, my guy. With our undefeated season on the line here against Ole Miss in the final game of the season, we're still ranked number 5 with something to prove. And even though we've exceeded all expectations on the season, playing with that chip on our shoulder throughout the entirety of the year has really helped us in ways we couldn't imagine. It's kept us focused, very disciplined, and we've been able to execute on both sides of the ball at a very high level. But for me personally, if I had to judge my season, I've done everything I knew I could do coming in here day one. I've even kind of surprised myself at times. To be on top of my books, execute on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, get things done in special teams, it's been crazy. And right now I can only imagine every school that retracted their scholarship offers, including Ole Miss, is kicking themselves in the tail. They could have had me on their team. When you think about it, put it all into perspective, I single-handedly completely redirected an entire program from top to bottom. I'm never one to toot my own horn, but I'm putting butts in seats, and I'm bringing us a winning record, taking us to the top, number 5 in the nation, and we remain undefeated with 1 game left. That's insane. Who thought that would come out of the Mississippi Bulldogs? But I have to give credit where credit is due. A bunch of great guys on this team. I came into a really solid situation. We've got talent strapped from everywhere from top to bottom on this roster. But now it's time to really lock in and focus. Season on the line, down 3 points to Ole Miss, but when you need a big play, not only can I be a safety blanket, but I can also get one in when we needed the most, touchdown. And now defensively trying to capitalize on our opportunity to really shut these boys out and put this game away. Just over 2 minutes left. We're making big plays left and right. And now here looking to take a big shot on 3rd and 10. Fantastic coverage upfield. Everything is locked down. touchdown, a PBU, great execution. And now 4th and 10 with the potential opportunity to put this game away completely. They go with the screen, but we're all over it, prepared for everything, even the unexpected. But now with the game hanging in the balance, 30 seconds left, 3rd and 19, they're going to take a shot up the field on my side. Great coverage. I'm there stride for stride, but I don't look back for the ball, and great concentration from this receiver. I ultimately cost us this game. And with one last opportunity, one chance to get this one into the end zone and potentially win this game with so much field to cover is damn near impossible. Getting upfield, but a poor throw upfield from Will, we take our first loss of the season. We dropped from number 5 to number 15 in the country, completely destroying our national championship hopes. And I'd be lying if I sat here and said I wasn't ecstatic that I was the Heisman Trophy winner as a freshman, all-purpose yards through the roof, touchdowns, everything. But losing that last game, not being able to go into the college football playoff really hurt my soul. And even winning everything from the Heisman down to the Jet Award, nothing can fill that void, that pain I felt, knowing that I costed my team the biggest game of our season. But when it rains, best believe it's gonna pour. Not only were things bad for me, just where my mental state was, I had a random drug test before our bowl game, and let's just say things took a turn for the complete worst. Now I'm expecting everything to come back clean and clear. I get my results back the day before the big bowl game, and to my surprise, everything came back positive. I've never taken anything on or off the field that can enhance my ability in no way, shape, or form, so for everything to come back positive, it kind of blew me away. I was more shocked and in complete disbelief than anger. Just within this last week, I've been suspended indefinitely for the remainder of the season, kicked off the football team, kicked out of school as a whole. They say there's going to be a thorough investigation, but I think it's pretty obvious. Somebody's out to ruin my football career.